Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. My name is Robert Friedland, and I was here 5 years ago at the first conference held. All respects to the assembled ministers of the government of Saudi Arabia, members of the mining industry. Let's talk about the dawn of the Copper Age. It is the hydrocarbon of Saudi Arabia that has kept the world alive. And now we need to remember that 5 years ago today, the price of crude oil, as we came out of COVID, was about $53 a barrel. And we have virtually the same price today. But 5 years ago, copper was about $8,000 exactly per ton. And today, copper reached an all-time high in nominal terms at $13,400 per day. All of you here know about data centers. This year, in 2006, the electricity demand for data centers in the world will equal the electrical consumption of Japan, the third largest economy in the world. So I'm anxious to show you what goes inside every one of those servers when you think about all these servers opening soon at a theater near you. Each of those Tesla servers needs gold, iron, gallium, antimony, tungsten, silver, several rare earth elements, indium, tantalum, palladium, barium, niobium, and titanium. Each of those servers, not just copper. We looked at a recent Microsoft baby data center in Chicago. It used 2 million kilograms of copper for a small data center, but it also needed barium, antimony, titanium, indium, silver, tungsten, gold, gallium, tantalum, many rare earth elements, niobium, and palladium. Now, our company mines the ones in green. Those are the ones we actually mine. But it's very important when you do a Google search or you do an AI search, how many metals are required to make that search actually happen. So if we take a look here at this is the total sum of copper our species has mined in the last 10,000 years. If you look at the Eiffel Tower, it's 323 meters tall. We've mined a cube 430 meters by 430 meters by 430 meters. That's how much copper we need to mine in the next 18 years. That's how much copper we mined since we came out of the caves. And you see the Eiffel Tower for scale. So if we go back to 4000 BC, we mined 700 million metric tons of copper. To maintain our current lifestyle, to keep the world going exactly as it has been going, we need to mine another 700 million metric tons in the next 18 years. That's without an energy transition. And that's without the dreams of AI centers. That's just as we're living now. So speaking to you as a miner, it's very apparent we need 6 new Tier 1 copper mines to come online every year into the year 2050 to meet global copper demand. And 40% of the production from those new mines will be required for electrification and data centers and grid upgrades. Since 1900, the energy we need to produce a unit of copper is up 16-fold, and the amount of water we need to make a unit of copper has doubled. And so it's very clear that the copper price must double to meet future mining needs. And if we could turn forward the clock another 5 years, just as copper has gone from $3.60 a pound 5 years ago to well over $6 today, the price will be much higher. Now, Saudi Arabia, due to the efforts of its visionary Crown Prince, His Royal Highness Mohammed bin Salman, and due to the efforts of the Minister of Mines, His Excellency Bandar al-Kharaif, and the Vice Minister, Khalid al-Mudayfer, this has become the #1 mining conference in the world, and Saudi Arabia is breaking records on yearly exploration spend. $280 million last year, and this number will go nothing but up because this country has created for its young population stability and all of the requirements you need to attract capital. And of course, our president in the United States has solidified an economic and defense partnership with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, working together under a very important pact, very close strategic partners to make sure that both countries have a stable supply of critical raw materials. Now, Ma'aden, the national mining company of Saudi Arabia, and our Ivanhoe Electric have a 50-50 joint venture where we use the power of our Typhoon electrical transmitter and big data, massaging big data with machine learning. We are accelerating exploration in the kingdom here, and I'm going to show you a short video of what's going on. The technology, Typhoon technology, puts a massive amount of electrical power into the earth, more than the output of a nuclear power plant. And if there's any copper or gold down there, it will absorb that electrical energy and discharge it more slowly than the surrounding rock. And the results are very, very exciting. So let's have a quick look.
Ivanhoe Electric is partnered in a 50-50 joint venture with Saudi Arabia mining company, Ma'aden. Together, we are leveraging our world-class technology platform in Saudi Arabia to explore for electric metals including copper, gold, and silver across nearly 50,000 square kilometers of the Saudi Arabian Shield. We are active across a diverse set of geological environments. These include volcanic-hosted massive sulfide systems at Wadi Mida, iron oxide copper-gold systems at Messina, porphyries at Tehran, epithermal gold and base metal systems in Mahad al-Dahab, and sediment-hosted copper in the platform. Opportunities for the joint venture are constantly being evaluated, with a wide variety of deposit styles present in the kingdom for us to explore. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has rapidly become one of the world's most active frontiers for mineral exploration, and we are proud to be at the forefront of this opportunity alongside Ma'aden. By combining our strong project portfolio, mineral exploration expertise, strategic partnerships, and disruptive technologies, Ivanhoe Electric is at the forefront of finding and developing new sources of critical metals needed for a better future.
Nice. I want to thank both the minister and the vice minister for their constant support to bring this technology to the kingdom. This 50,000 square kilometer joint area is about 4 times the size of Qatar, quite a bit larger than Switzerland in total area we're exploring. And I want to tell you from the heart, while we're not ready to announce what we're seeing, we see many styles of mineralization in the kingdom, and the kingdom has a very bright future, not only in copper and gold, but many other metals. So last year we told you about a breakthrough in mineral extraction. 40% of the world, 4% of the world's electrical energy is just used to break and crush rock. Here's a quote from the United States Department of Energy. Billions of tons of mineral ore are crushed and ground every year. Up to 99% of the energy we use to grind those ores is expended in moving machinery. Only 1% of the energy makes the rock smaller. Existing crushing and grinding techniques are not only inefficient and antiquated, but they have little or no scientific base of understanding. And for the last 1,000 years, we've been crushing rock with compression. But now we have technology to pull the rock apart using tensile force, and this is going to be of great benefit.
The applications are there. We discharge energy quickly in somewhere between 50 billionths of a second to 50 millionths of a second, and you get peak powers from megawatts to terawatts. That's pulse power. We can crack, fracture, drill, and mine with that energy.
So simply put, IROX breaks rock. What you're seeing behind me is ore from the Escondida mine in Chile. And as that falls through the column, we use our proprietary pulse power technology to burst the rock from the inside. Conventionally, we break rock by crushing it from the outside. When you burst it from the inside using a tensile force, you can use up to 80% less energy than conventional grinding technologies. And so we're able to take these large pieces of rock down to a very fine powder, but we do so very efficiently.
You have a chain of events. The primary crusher, the SAG mill, the ball mill. What we want to do is take away that SAG mill and that ball mill. Bye-bye. It's a huge savings in electricity and much lower carbon footprint.
By breaking rock along mineralogical boundaries, we're able to unlock more of the valuable metals that are trapped inside. We're seeing this translate into up to 5% higher metal recoveries, which is incredibly valuable, both in terms of the companies that are involved, as well as the new metals that are needed for the energy transition.
Eyeballs, IROCs, IMO, these are all examples of breakthrough technologies. They have the potential to radically transform the way that we look at the act of mining and processing. It's going to reduce CO2 emissions, and it's going to make the cost of mining lower, which means that we'll be able to mine these lower grade ores more economically and with less environmental impact than otherwise be the case.
I think this is going to be a tremendous impact and change in the mining industry. Safety benefits, the decarb benefits, obviously the increased production and bottom line benefits. It's a quadruple win on all dimensions.
This technology, I think, will be an important part of the change in our industry in terms of how we break through with some techniques that we've used for 100, 150 years.
For whatever reasons, we have some difficulties as an industry to innovate. And here I think we have an example that innovation is possible.
This is almost like the holy grail that the mining industry has been searching for decades. The technologies that IPOX brings will help the mining industry become part of the solution rather than be part of the problem.
So we're bringing these technologies to the kingdom, and we're absolutely honored to be able to bring these technologies here early and to bring them into the field. The country that gave the world the energy that we built the modern world on will also be a country that will see the revolutionizing the way we find mines, the way we crush rock, grind rock, recover metal. It'll all happen here due to the vision of the young Saudi population to make this country a world leader in mining. And then there's also geothermal power as we come to the end here. That's the next step.
Has given us a bounty called geothermal energy. But to tap it, we have to drill deep. If you go down 2 miles, 3 kilometers, you have a reservoir of heat there that's equal to half of all the power that we consume on the planet. Half of it. If you're successful in going down to 3 miles, 5 kilometers, you can tap 5 times the energy that the planet consumes every day. 5 times. So there's no energy crisis. There's a crisis in our ability to get the abundant energy that's right under our feet.
The G-pulse drilling process, which utilizes pulse power and a conventional drill bit, fractures the rock and removes it in very small pieces. It's a technology that will allow us to drill into granite very, very quickly and at a fraction of the cost of today's drilling technology. Conventional drills, even diamond bits, wear out quickly in granite. You can take pulse power, fracture the rock so that the drill bit can grind out the rock quickly without wearing out the bit. That's G-pulse. And if we can go in and drill these geothermal wells at a fraction of the cost, then we can quickly stand up geothermal plants and supply the energy needs in the future.
We can really tap the huge tract of geothermal energy underground up to 3-4 kilometers below, which is energy that can fundamentally alter the world, and we can do it economically.
There's potential here that through the use of IPOX, you'll be able to conduct those same activities through a more continuous mining process, where you can develop continuous miners using IPOX technology to replace existing methods.
We will conduct the research, we'll build the prototypes, and we'll integrate them into machines that can actually drill mines faster and at much lower cost than today's technology.
Alhamdulillah. We're honored to do this for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We pledge our loyalty and our best efforts to revolutionize the way we find metals, the way we produce those metals from the earth, and the way we use them. And lastly, we want to talk about one of the rare earths, because the kingdom has many rare earths. After you have your 5G phone, the next spectrum will be 6G. And as you can see, our spectrum 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, 6G. As we go to the next 6G, we're dividing that spectrum finer and finer, and we cannot do that without scandium metal. That's why our company that is developing scandium metal in Australia was the best performing mining share in the world last year, up 2,400% approximately. Now the kingdom has these kinds of metals. There's metals you've never heard of. They'll be far more valuable than gold or copper or any other metal in the near future. The kingdom has an enormous mineral endowment to look for these kinds of metals, and it's due to the vision 5 years ago when this government decided to hold this conference that the kingdom will be a leader. This is Ivanhoe Mines, Ivanhoe Electric, and iPulse. I'm Robert at Ivanhoe.net. Honored to see you. Thank you very much. Until next year.